fly. So as you've seen, I've just been picking the majority of my broad beans. There's still some on there that will get a little bit bigger before I pick them, but the ones that I've done today, I'm going to weigh them now, and then I'll take them in the kitchen and blanch them and put them in the freezer. So let's see how much they weigh. So as you can see, we have got nearly 3 pounds. So all I've got to do now is take them out their shells and to reveal the beans inside, and then take them in the kitchen. So I've just weighed them, and I've got nearly 3 pounds. I've been picking them throughout the week, been having them with my dinners over the last sort of week or so, but I noticed some were getting really large and thought it was about time I picked what was on there and get them in the freezer, because the plants will be going over soon and I want that space for whatever I decide to grow next. So this is a nice little job to do out in the garden. As you can see, Paddy's sitting in his bed. He's absolutely worn out. We went for a very long walk down by the river today. He's run his little socks off, and many of you who may know, he's coming up to, well, he's 13 and a half. I rescued him, I think it's about 5 years ago now. He came from a shelter in Cyprus. So he's come from a yard where the dog's running around loose, to having his own garden. He's lord of the manor and head gardener. Does a lot of quality control as well. But he's got a pretty good life. Now I'm retired, I spend obviously all my time with him. We go for much longer walks now, nothing's rushed. And it's nice just to be able to sit out here when it's dry and be able to do jobs like this. So I will carry on, because I've got an awful lot to do, and I'll show you what they're like when I'm finished. What that is in there. Some so far. Okay, so I've just finished shucking all of these, and I've got 15.3 ounces of beans, and they look delicious. Got a lovely colour on those. So if we lift this bowl up, you can see the bowl. So they're going to go in the kitchen now, and I'm going to blanch them and then get them in the freezer. Okay, I've come in my kitchen now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all of these, I'm going to plunge them in boiling water for, I think it's about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and then take them out of the boiling water and plunge them into ice cold water to stop the cooking process. But what it actually does is kill off any enzymes, so that the broad beans will last quite a long time in the freezer. I think they'll last up to 12 months, but I'll have to check that, and I'll put that a note either at the end or I'll tag it on the footage. So I need to get a pan out and boil a kettle. Okay, so I've got a rapid boil going now, and I've just checked. It's only 2 minutes that I need to blanch them for. So I'm going to put them in there now. So they're in there, and I'm going to put the timer on. And I will come back to you when the 2 minutes is up. So I'm going to plunge those into the ice water, and the thing is that will heat that water up very quickly, so I shall drain that off and fill it up with some more cold water. Leave them for a minute just to cool right down, and then I shall drain them off on 2 clean towels. So I've already prepared a bag. I've got the date on it and obviously what they are, and I'm now going to put them on a towel to try and dry them off as best possible. Once they're fairly dry, I'm going to put them in the bag and then try and flatten the bag to spread them out. I shall lay them in the freezer for at least an hour, and once they're starting to freeze and I can shake the bag up, and then I'll just leave it, and then that will be it, they'll be done. So let me drain these off now. Okay, so I've laid out a clean towel. I'm going to spread them on now. Spread them out. I'll taste one as well. Oh God, they're lovely. Oh, have another couple. Now, I will say to you, and I've said this in previous videos where I've dealt with bulb beans, they're quite toxic. Let me tilt you up a minute. They are quite toxic when they're raw. Some people it doesn't affect them at all, and they will eat them raw as they're picking them in the same way that you would with peas. But if you're like me, I've discovered I'm completely intolerant to it. I was picking them one year, and when I was shucking them, I was popping one in my mouth every now and again, probably more than I realised. And it was about half an hour later I thought, oh, I don't feel very well. I couldn't stop being sick. So just to beware, and especially if you've got children that may or may not be intolerant to it. So when they're cooked, they're absolutely fine, but just beware when they're raw. So this is them now. I've spread them all out. I'm going to put another towel over the top and pat them dry as best I can, and then bag them up. So it's kind of got the worst off. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop them in a bag. I'll get it to open. And that's it. Try and exclude all the air. wanted to bring you back in the kitchen sort of 24 hours later just to have a look at these beans. I froze them completely flat, that way they don't freeze up in one great big lump, especially if they were still slightly damp. That would have definitely happened. And that's it. I can use them. I mean, they won't last very long, but especially if you've got an allotment, you could be freezing a huge amount. I've got a small garden, so I have to kind of pace myself, otherwise I run out of room very quickly. So I grew enough just to give me the joy of having homegrown. Now you can use this method for most vegetables in the garden. I tend to do it for all my beans. This is sweet corn from last year that I've still got in the freezer. I also do my chilies, so this is mixed chilies. But what I wouldn't recommend really is courgettes. Now, courgettes are very fleshy. They've got a high water content. Once they start to defrost, they just go mushy, and they're really not very nice. So you're much better off eating those fresh from the plant and just lightly cooking. If you do get such a massive glut and you do decide to freeze them, they're okay for soups because obviously you're going to blitz them, but really that wouldn't be my recommendation. Well, I hope my video has been helpful to you, particularly if you're a newbie to growing your own vegetables, just to help you when it comes to storing, preserving what you've grown. Obviously, if you're an old hand like myself, then I wouldn't want to teach you how to suck eggs. And if you have your own tips and ideas, that would be great if you could comment below. So thank you very much for watching. My next video is probably going to be the July tour. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do comment and like below, as I'm desperately trying to grow my channel. We're approaching 400 subscribers. It would be really nice if I can top that by July, because that will be my I think it'd be my 3rd year in July. So yeah, till next time, cheers everybody.